Arsenal's first 3 points and a goal against Norwich City. It was tagged the relegation battle. But I know people are just trying to take a mickey out of Arsenal because it's not a relegation battle yet, because it's just the first 4 game or the 4th game of the season. But I know Arsenal this past week have turned into, where everybody get memed at, throw a different kind of banter at, and also make a joke off. But they got the first 3 points and a goal. It was a game that served as a yardstick for Arteta after the first 3 horrendous performance of the league. Like someone said, the first 3 games was because Arsenal was doing charity. So this is where the season starts. So is this where the season starts for Arsenal against Norwich City? 3 points, a goal from Aubameyang.
Look, I think it's very comfortable for Arsenal fans to say that, that the season did start against Norwich. But, I mean, for me, it wasn't even a convincing victory, They were not just clinical in the final third, created a lot of chances. I have to say good gameplay from the likes of Sambi Lokonga, Odegaard. It was good gameplay. Solid defensive performances from Ben White, Tomiyasu, a returning Gabriel, and obviously Kerentini always puts in a good shift, So it's good to see that Arsenal have a starting back four, and they created a lot of chances. However, they were simply not clinical in the final third. Nicolas Pepe, Bukayo Saka, even Aubameyang, he wasn't as clinical as we expected him to be. But the good thing was that he got the goal, he got the winning goal. That's a good thing for him. It's a huge goal. Scrappy goal, but at the end of the day, a goal is a goal, and they got the 3 points. So that's the most important thing at the end of the day. But I would like to point out the fact that that goal came from the arrival of Thomas Partey, and that's someone who is getting back to 100% fitness. That single pass he made basically opened up the Norwich City defense. Although that's not the first time it happened in the game, but anyway, that's what led to the goal, and that was the key pass for me. And that just goes to show you how important it is for the top players to be fully fit. I just imagine Arsenal side where they have the back four of Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel, Tierney, Thomas Partey, and Granit Xhaka, and then you've got a good front three in I should say I believe Arsenal's best front three right now.
Arsenal fans agree with you mentioning Granit Xhaka?
Look, at the end of the day, Granit Xhaka is a good fit for Arteta's system. Arteta likes to play a left-footed midfielder in that pivot. So at the end of the day, Granit Xhaka is the best fit for that. But it won't be bad to see a permanent pivot of Partey and Lokonga. So that means Lokonga can do more going forward, because we've seen his potential as well. But then we know Lokonga also likes to play deep, a bit of that sombrero role created by the Italians, where you have the likes of Pello who have made it famous today. So we know Lokonga has that in his arsenal. So let's see how that goes. But then I believe the perfect front three for Arsenal currently has to be a combination of Odegaard, Smith-Rowe, Saka, and Aubameyang in front of them. But then again, I see that against certain teams, Aubameyang will probably not be the man to lead the line, because he's not the type to really drop back and fight for that ball. However, that's where Alex Lacazette comes in. Alex Lacazette knows how to bring the best out of the players around him, and then we saw how that was a good thing in the last 2 seasons for Aubameyang. Sometimes even Aubameyang will play out on the left. Once it is Lacazette through the middle, we know how Lacazette can make other players around him a whole lot more better. We saw that in the second half of the season. That was last year. So I don't know. It's left to Arteta to know the perfect combination for Arsenal going forward. It's left to Arteta to know the right players to start for certain games, And then the most important thing for me is the fact that Mikel Arteta has no excuse this season. Why do I say that? Arsenal is not competing in any European competition.
Yeah, I was about to. Sorry for interjecting. I was about to mention that. I think you read my mind. So in the game against Norwich City, Arteta had 5 of the players that he signed, because the excuse, or I wouldn't say the excuse, part of what was said from the beginning of the season was some players were out due to COVID, injury, and all that. So moving forward, you have the players that you want. You've already, moved out the players that you don't want, that you feel they're not part of the system. So what excuse does Arteta has? Like I said earlier, Ole has all the arsenal that he has been provided all the arsenal. So Arteta, you mentioned last season the philosophy, the players don't fit into the philosophy. You want your own system, you want your own players. Now the management has backed you up. Even when things were that bad, they still backed you up. So is there any excuse for Arteta moving forward if he doesn't deliver? Because Arsenal fans, not the management though, they have benchmarked Norwich City game, Burnley game, and Tottenham game. They won 9 points. So if Arteta fails to deliver 9 points, is Arteta still the man for the job? Or do you think Arteta is the man for the job?
Look, only time will tell. Only time will tell, to be perfectly honest, because Arsenal Football Club is one of the greatest clubs in the history of the Premier League, and in the hierarchy of European clubs, Arsenal is still up there with the best of the best. So, the last couple of years since Wenger left, and even before Wenger left, haven't been the best. But you know what? One thing was sure under Wenger, which was a Champions League finish and at least a trophy, maybe once every 2 seasons. You understand? So, Arsenal needs to slowly get back to the good old days. We already know that Arteta knows what it takes to help the team with a trophy. He did that fantastically well in his at the beginning of his stint.
First few months, yep.
Exactly. So now things are more perfect for Arteta. To be honest, he's got the players he wanted to sign during the transfer window. He has made that clear. He has said that, okay, they are building for the future. It's more of a future project. So even though you are building for the future, we need to start seeing those positive signs. We need to see the fact that, this team is heading somewhere, because if we don't see that, it's a problem. And truth be told, this season is just perfect for them to get their acts together and for them to show that they have what it takes. They fit into Arteta's system, because not competing in Europe, you're not exposed to being embarrassed. Let me put it that way, if you ask me. But you know what the fans will not give you room for is losing to North London rivals or London rivals at all. The fans don't want to get used to getting beaten 5-0 by Manchester City all the time. No, that's not Arsenal Football Club. You understand what I'm saying? So, look, Arteta needs to find that winning formula. Arteta needs to know what exactly works for him and works for Arsenal going forward. He needs to know the right combination of players.
Yeah, do you think he's under a lot of pressure? Because in the post-match conference, he said it that he almost, he made mention of something that had to do with the mental health. That after the game, after the thumping against Man City, it got to a time where I can't quote him word for word, but I could just paraphrase where he said that he was almost hitting himself, listening to what people were saying in the media, listening to what the banter's being thrown around, the criticism here and there, and he just couldn't contain it. We saw what happened. Like you said, it wasn't an impressive performance against Norwich City, but do you think Arteta is under pressure?
Definitely. Even if Arteta is not under pressure from management, Arteta is under pressure from Arteta. I'll take you back to what Pep Guardiola said during the post-match conference. He said, look, Mikel Arteta is a great manager.
He's a great person. But he keeps beating him.
But there must be a reason. No. I don't see that as embarrassment. I see that as
I'm saying on the field of play. After you embarrass his team and you come back and you say he's the best manager, he's one of the best managers.
But don't forget that Arteta defeated his teacher in the FA Cup semi-final on the way to winning his first FA Cup trophy for Arsenal as a manager.
Few games after that, Guardiola as well. 3 games after that, if I'm not mistaken. 3 games after that.
True. But you know what? That's football. That's what it is. And then, okay, so let's even start. Let me even start from here. Let me start from the impact that Arteta had under Guardiola. We all know that Guardiola had a fantastic tiki-taka process which has always been working from him from his time at Barcelona. You know, he went to Bayern, it was the same thing. However, he wasn't able to transcend against bigger teams. You know, I saw the tactical setups at Bayern. Sometimes he would then go with a 3 at the back, you know, putting Philipp Lahm in the middle, trying to tweak things, just trying to elevate that tiki-taka. When Arteta joined his backroom staff, things changed, and you could see how fluid he was with his Manchester City team in the Premier League. You know, Guardiola's first season in the Premier League, he had to make do with the players that he had, and
yeah, but that was a different ball game. Sorry for interjecting once again. It was a different ball game. Was working as the assistant. Now your hands on the plow. I'm going somewhere. Team manager.
But I'm going somewhere. So there's a point that I'm trying to make. So the point I'm trying to make is the difference in the tactical setup that Arteta made to Pep Guardiola's team. So I mean, for Guardiola to anyway, Guardiola doesn't have it. When you have a backroom staff, you have to work with them. But the fact that Arteta had such a big influence on his tactics going forward, that says a lot about Mikel Arteta. You know, for me, I believe that's when the respect level went way up. So I'm going back to Pep Guardiola's first season at Manchester City. You know, that's when we saw Alexander Kolarov converted into a centre-back because he was left-footed, you know. So Guardiola wanted that fast-paced football in there. That's where we saw David Silva playing on the left side of the midfield, you know, and then you had the fluid front three. As the seasons went by, Guardiola kept on getting a new team. He kept on getting the players that he wanted to perfect. And then you saw that over the years, things got easier for Guardiola. Yeah. Now you see that original idea was taken from Arteta, because from the get-go, that is what Arteta has implemented with Arsenal. Arteta took over in October.
The left and the right.
Exactly. So Arteta took over in October. By January, he had signed Pablo Mari. You know, he knew how important such a player would be to his setup going forward. You know, and he then later signed David Luiz. These are players who are comfortable playing on the left-hand side of the centre-back pairing.
Yeah, from the back.
They're either left-footed, even though they're not left-footed, they can easily play with the left foot and take the ball out from the left-hand side of the pitch. That's why Granit Xhaka has been so important for Arsenal, you know. So this just goes to show you that Mikel Arteta knows what it takes. But then, just like you said, it's the first time Mikel Arteta is coaching an Arsenal team. So managing a team on his own, being the head coach. So definitely, Arteta has been learning on the job. Arteta has made mistakes and he has learned from it. It's been obvious that during his early days, man management was obviously not one of his best skills. You know, but then he's been learning. And then Arsenal have now lost certain players who they thought maybe could have stayed longer and made a difference. Talking about the likes of Mesut Ozil, Guendouzi, and Saliba.
Yep.
Exactly. But you know what? Look, it happens. Mistakes happen. The main thing is how you bounce back from that. The good thing is that Mikel Arteta has the backing of the board to sign players who will then play for him and fit into his system. So it's just a matter of time. However, this season is crucial for Mikel Arteta. A top 4 finish, anything other than a top 4 finish, I believe is unacceptable for us now. It's going to be difficult, yes, because you've got Leicester City who are doing well under Brendan Rodgers. You've got Spurs who are doing well under, despite their recent loss, they're doing well under Nuno Espirito Santo. You've got the Wolverhampton Wanderers. You've got the Leeds United. Look, this is one of the most exciting seasons of the Premier League ever. It's going to be fantastic. You know, Liverpool are looking hungry. Chelsea is there. Manchester City, Manchester United. You know, so it's left to Arteta to get this team to start ticking as soon as possible, to be consistent as soon as possible. But you know, the good thing is that the FA Cup is there, it's up for grabs. The Carabao Cup is there, it's up for grabs. They've got another tie against AFC Wimbledon coming up on the 22nd of September. You know, these games mean a lot to Arsenal at this point in time. They need to win these games. They need to go all the way to the final to make something happen. You know, so for me, it's a do or die affair for Mikel Arteta this season. If Arteta does not secure a top 4 finish or win at least a trophy, Arteta out.
Wow, that's because all those fixtures you've mentioned, looking at the itinerary, it's a lot of pressure for Arteta. If whether it takes it or not, it's a lot of pressure. But last one, before we round off on this episode, Ivan Toney. I know you saw the statement about Ivan Toney. I don't know if he was trying to throw a diss at Arsenal or he was trying to sell himself to say, hey, I can pick up that striker position and make Arsenal be great again. Do you see that as a diss, or he was just selling himself out that, hey, I'm out here, just come pick me?
I see it as a diss, because if you're trying to get noticed, that's not the best way to get noticed. So I see it as Ivan Toney saying, if I leave Brentford Football Club today, going to Arsenal is not a step in the right direction for me. I don't think Arsenal is that next level step. I might as well be at Brentford. That's what I see it as. And then it's quite ironic because in the last two transfer windows, he was rumored to be joining Arsenal. A couple of players from Brentford have been rumored to be joining Arsenal. Even David Raya at a point in time. But David Raya did not want to come. Exactly, the goalkeeper. He didn't want to come to Arsenal to play second fiddle to Ben Leno. And that's when Arsenal went to sign Alex Ronaldsson. So look, Ivan Toney has an opinion of his own. He's a very opinionated person. He has his strong beliefs. He's one person who does not take the knee because of his beliefs. So, that's his own opinion, really, and it doesn't really matter to Arsenal Football Club. So, it will be jokes on him at the end of the season if Arsenal win a trophy and Brentford get relegated,
Wow.
But you know what? Exactly, but you know what? I believe he can talk because look, everyone knows how good he is. Everyone is aware of his numbers. He came into Brentford last season. He did something spectacular for them. A lot of Brentford fans felt like they were going to miss Oli Watkins, who had left for
Aston Villa.
And then in January as well, Ben Rama left for West Ham. But no, Ivan Toney, alongside his other teammates, like the likes of the Nigerian Frank Onyeka, they did well for Brentford, and the reason why Brentford are in the Premier League currently. So, and then you can see the ability in Ivan Toney. He's someone who has the ability to be a world-class striker. He's very good in the air, good with both feet. We saw the way he dominated Ben White in the opener for the Premier League. So, look, the boy can talk. He's in a good position to talk, but then look, you talk today, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so be careful about what you say. What you say might come back to hurt you. So just like I said, don't be surprised at the end of the season Arsenal finish in the top 4, they win the trophy, Brentford gets relegated.
Well, like you said, he's opinionated, but I hope he hasn't pissed a lot of Arsenal fans. There was one of Troy Deeney of Watford saying the cojones, Arsenal don't have the cojones, and he came back to bite him in the butt, So, but it's all good. Let's see how it goes. It's going to be an interesting season. It's nice doing this with you, Ope. Thank you for being on the EPL review. And
it's always a pleasure.
We'll be back this week. We'll be back next week to review the games that went down. Thank you very much. Take care.
All right. Peace.